Good morning. And yes, it is, listen, it's Morning Brew Mixed Blend Wednesday. And for all of you who know what that means, it is the fourth Wednesday. And yes, we have Coach Cathleen with us. And you know, we're talking about menopause, ladies, menopause unmasked. Whew, men, it's for you too. So, listen, I am so excited because if you are new to Morning Brew and you are not sure, like, what is she talking about? I just want to encourage you to go over to YouTube and go to Morning Brew with Germaine. And yes, subscribe, like, and all that good stuff. But check out in our vault, Coach Kathleen talking about menopause, something that is so unspoken. But you know what? We're in a different day and time because people are talking up, speaking out loud, and really unapologetically. They're not afraid. They're not afraid to really express what they're dealing with and what they're going through. So if you are with us, if you are stepping into the conversation today, hey, let us know where you're chiming in from. Let us know what you're drinking. I have my hazelnut coffee with hazelnut creamer, and boy, it is so good. But you know what? Give me a sip. Hold on. Because I'm excited. I want to just bring her right into the conversation. So let me bring on Coach Kathleen. Give me a moment. Welcome. Oh no. Listen. She pulled out the red fan to match her. It's the most beautiful, the most wonderful time of the year. Yes, this is Christmas Eve. And she has pulled out the red fan because she is already having what? One of those hot flashes. Let me tell you, I love when she comes on Morning Brew because, you know, we have so much laughter and there's so much joy.
Oh,
and, you know, we're not afraid to talk about the topic and really be real. So, yes, pull those fans out.
Listen, and I'm ready, okay?
Not two. Look, not two.
I got a phone.
Not two.
This is something you need it from both sides. It's
Oh
like,
my goodness.
Oh my God.
Serious. And mind you, it's snow outside on the ground, but you know what? That doesn't matter when a heat flash, like when a hot flash want to hit you. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I am so good. You know, it is always a joy when you show up and stop by for coffee and conversation. So
thank you. And it's always, I always look forward to being with you because this is so much fun. And it's like, it's such a relief, right? To get this out, to be able to talk about it. And so many women are happy that we're having this conversation. And I'm looking forward to the days when they'll join us and be talking with us too.
2026, it's coming, whereas we'll have group discussions around some real topics. So what are we talking about today, Menopause Unmasked?
Listen, so today we are talking about menopause at work. Menopause in the workplace. That's
my goodness.
I know. Because we hit on it a little bit last time. If you remember, like we talked a little bit about, women falling asleep or having, being dozing off at work. Or getting to work exhausted because of the sleeplessness that they may have experienced the night before.
Absolutely.
So we have that insomnia sometimes that as a result of, menopause, and also because of these night sweats, sometimes horrific night sweats that wake you up. You got to get up, change, shower sometimes. And then you're awake, and then you're freezing, and then you're, just like all the stuff that's going on at night. And then, then it's 4:00 in the morning, and you're like, oh man, can I go back to sleep? Because if I go back to sleep now at 4 a.m., I'm going to oversleep. I won't be up at 6. And so all of that, and then you maybe stay up and go to work and you're exhausted. And now come 11 a.m., now 1 p.m. and 2 p.m., which my crash time is like between 2 and 3. I got to go get some sugar. I got to go get something sweet, something crunchy.
Exactly.
You don't need to eat, right?
Something to stay awake.
Exactly, because you're already like, well, I don't know about anybody else, but for those of us who were fighting the middle section bulge, like, okay,
Mhm.
I'm trying to do everything I can to let that go down. So I don't want the sugar content, I don't want the cookie
Mhm.
content, I don't want the fat content, but that's what I want.
Exactly. That's what I'm craving right now. But I have to watch this waistline.
Exactly. That's what's
Can we
going
get a break? Can we get a break?
Can we get a break? Come on, Jesus, can we get a break? Anyway, yes, but that's what we're talking about.
That's what we're talking
Menopause
about.
in the workplace. So the way I wanted to just give this call out, for women in the workplace, whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, a journalist, a host, an
Oh, wow.
influencer, whether you're running board meetings, whatever it is that you're doing in the workplace, whether you're doing DoorDash, you're doing Instacart, whatever it is, this is manager, director, business owner, entrepreneur, doing your own thing, running your household. Whatever it is that you do, you are working. We are working. Most of us
That's
are not
right.
just chilling. Most of us do not have that
The
option,
luxury. Yeah,
the luxury
definitely.
of just chilling. Even the women that we see and we say, oh my gosh, they're billionaires, they're this, they're that. They're
They're
working. Oprah's
working.
working.
Absolutely.
Beyonce is
Absolutely.
working her butt off. Can I say butt? Yes, she's working.
Yes,
She's working her tail off.
exactly.
See, yeah, there women working. Gail King working.
Working.
Michelle Obama working.
Working.
Right there,
Yes.
all the women that we're looking at, whether Glenn Coates working,
Working.
she's working.
Exactly. And
Robin
you know
Roberts,
what's and you're mentioning women that are seasoned women
yes,
over 50
yes,
still out there working, doing it.
working and working hard.
Exactly. And dealing with what?
The-
Menopause.
Menopause, menopause.
That's a
You
job
and
in
me
itself.
working. What are we doing? We working.
Exactly. That is a job in itself. If you did not know, managing that.
Working.
Yes.
We are working, knocking it out to park here. So for all of us, and the thing about it, I love the fact that this word is menopause, right?
Yes.
Because it's saying
Break it
pause,
down. Mhm.
but nothing is pausing as a result of us going through this season of menopause, and
Right.
neither is work. Because
Absolutely.
even for those of us who are looking forward to retirement in this era that we're living in right now, retirement is 65 and up,
Absolutely. And they're trying to change the age.
67.
Exactly.
67, and even if that is the retirement age, a
Mhm.
lot of women do not have the luxury still of
To
retiring at 67, at
exactly.
70, at 72, still working. I remember the last time I saw Cicely Tyson.
Mhm.
She was in her 80s. And what was she doing?
She was working on a set somewhere.
Working. She was still working. What was the woman? Not Bette Midler. Betty White. How old was
Yes.
Betty White
Still working
in
though.
that last movie? 90 something?
Exactly. Oh yes. Yes. In almost 100.
Almost 100,
Yes.
right?
Still working.
Jane Fonda, didn't she just do that movie, something about the football player? Oh my gosh, it was hilarious.
Still working. Look, I keep
Target.
saying yes.
So, and then people may say, okay, well, they're much older, they're past menopause age, but okay, if they're working now at
Wow.
80 and 90, what do you think they were doing at 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100,
Exactly. Yeah.
right? So the
Wow,
fact
you just said something. You said something. I'm gonna throw it in there real quick. Don't lose your spot.
please,
Um, it sounds like it will end while we can still enjoy life minus having menopause or dealing with it in
okay,
some cases.
so post-menopause doesn't have an end date.
Oh my God.
Post-menopause, and you know what, we'll do a show on that.
Mm,
We'll do a show on that.
good.
Postmenopause doesn't have an end date, right? So I think we talked about this before. Perimenopause can start anywhere around 45-ish,
Hmm.
sometimes earlier for some women, based on their genetics, one,
Yes.
or whether or not menopause begins for them because of a medically induced episode. Like,
Okay.
I had a hysterectomy, so menopause was induced for me earlier, even earlier than that, because I had severe fibroids. And so the
Mm,
medications they were treating me with for fibroids induced menopausal like symptoms. And then
okay.
once I had the hysterectomy, because we weren't able to resolve the fibroids issue, I had a hysterectomy. And so then now I'm in full blown menopause because no more.
Exactly.
Yes, right.
Mhm.
Um, so menopause can start around the premenopause. Perimenopause is the proper term.
Okay.
Perimenopause can start somewhere around 45 years old, earlier sometimes for women of color. And then you might hit menopause anywhere after that. 50, usually you're looking around 50, 55, anywhere between there. 52 is the sweet spot.
Okay.
But what the, what the medical terminology for menopause is the day that you have gone 12 months without a period.
Okay.
12 months straight without a period. That day that you miss your period after the 12th month is the day of menopause, right?
Wow.
The
Okay.
day of atonement. After that, you're in
Okay.
post. After that day, after that 24 hours, you're in postmenopause.
Wow. Okay. So it's so important, ladies, it's so important to keep your menstrual calendars, accurate, especially if you know you are coming up coming up in age and you know that menopause is somewhere in your near future.
Yeah, that is so important because when if your GYN or so asks you, okay, well, when was your last
Yes,
menstrual period? Or like, good question. Like,
exactly.
I'm not really sure. I know I think I had it 3 months ago. Who's really counting? Especially like we talked about how hard we're working and how much stuff is going on. Did I count?
Exactly.
Is this the 12th month? I'm not really sure.
It's
Right?
another thing you have to manage.
You got to
Really.
track. They got to track it. And
Hmm.
even still tracking it when you're missing periods too, because you might miss it for a month, you might miss it for 2 months. And if you're not thinking that you might think, okay, well, am I pregnant? I might
Yeah.
be pregnant. I might not be pregnant, but I'm 50 something. Am I, I don't know. And you could be. So it's important to track it to see
Wow.
what's going on with, right? Because
That's a whole that is a whole nother that just hit me. That's a whole nother morning
right.
brew conversation when you just said, are you pregnant? Because you could be. You know,
Because you could be.
you, oh my goodness, how
Well,
many
you look
women
like you lost your breath right there.
well, what's so interesting? I just had a moment when I was going for blood work and I was in the process of dealing with perimenopause, the beginning stages. And the woman was so adamant, but she was so nice. She said, "Could you be pregnant?" I'm like, "What?" She literally gave me a pregnancy test
Yes,
to
that's
make
right.
sure.
That's right.
Yeah, it brought a flashback. I just
I
had a
know
flashback moment.
you need my fan?
I didn't have a hot flash. I had a flashback moment when you mentioned that pregnancy.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Yep.
Wow.
So, yeah, so tracking everything, tracking
Yes, very
everything.
important.
Always got to track. But anyway, so regardless of whatever it is that you do for work, remember that menopause does not pause. It doesn't pause your calendar. It
Mm,
doesn't pause. It does not pause because you have to get up and go to work. So it doesn't wait until after your presentation. It doesn't
okay.
wait until after the board meeting. It doesn't wait till after the deadline. It doesn't wait. So whatever is happening in your body, the changes that are taking place, they're going to keep moving forward while
Wow.
you're trying to work, or while you're working, not trying to work, while you're working. So, and it's important to also know that when we are experiencing these symptoms, some women will have them more, I don't know, more pronounced than others.
Mm,
Some women will have the insomnia much worse than others. Some women will have the night sweats worse than others. Everybody's menopause is
it's
not the
different. Yeah,
so whatever it happens to be, and some women don't have that at all, but they may have other things. And that's why this conversation is so important.
yeah.
I was talking to a girlfriend of mine the other day, and she's like, well, I've really pretty much sailed through menopause. I didn't have hot flashes, and I didn't
I've
have
heard that.
insomnia, and I didn't have this. And I was like, but did you have frozen shoulder?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
She said,
Somebody just said that to me, and I said, "Oh my goodness, you got to go check out my morning brew," because Coach Kathleen was just talking about how frozen shoulder doctors couldn't diagnose it, that it was tied to menopause. And I thought it was so strange that somebody was telling me they had frozen shoulder.
yeah,
And I
yep,
might want to
yep.
consider.
And she said, yeah, I had frozen shoulder, but I also have diabetes, and frozen
Mhm.
shoulder is also related to diabetes. And I was like, well, but it could have been either or both. And also, we have to think about every single aspect. We talked about this before, everything, and how,
No.
our estrogen levels and all of our hormone levels are related to our whole body symptom. Because listen, this head to toe thing is one body, right? And
Yes, exactly.
some impacts in one place are going to impact the other. So, anyway, so my point is that
Mhm.
you won't have everything, and just because you don't have the one symptom that I might be talking about right now, or that we're talking about right now, doesn't mean that the conversation is not important, because you might have something else going on that you did not relate to
That's
menopause.
true.
And if we don't relate it to menopause, the likelihood of our physicians relating it to menopause is slim to slim.
Wow. And that's because they don't really practice and study in this area to see how it
Yes.
affects the
Yeah.
body. Wow.
Yeah, some of them don't know. Yeah, some of them don't know. Some
Hmm.
don't do the research necessarily, and some of them are so accustomed to seeing whatever symptom we come in with related to something else or in someone else, that they don't say, oh, well, this could be menopause in you related, and then what do we do about it? And if it is related to menopause, that's the next question: what do we do about it? And if they haven't studied, then they don't really know what we could do about it and what the various
Exactly.
symptoms are. So it's up to us to know what our bodies are experiencing and what the changes are, and then discuss that with the doctor and say, well, do you have any recommendations, if not for me to deal with this, but do you have any recommendations for physicians that I can go to and talk to get some help with this? And that is an important piece. But watching, or you'll call me and I'll tell you
That's true.
what
Like,
we
listen, I got a few questions that's coming to me.
oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so no, what happens, that's what happens. Is like the more, now that this space has opened up and the segment is here on Morning Brew, I tell you, when I'm talking to people and things resonate, I immediately go to my coach Kathleen, like, okay, I need to make some notes here because that's a great question to find out and ask. But the one thing I love about it is people are talking more.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the workplace right now.
Yeah.
And in the workplace, some women probably still don't even want it to be known that it's like going through it in silence.
That's right.
And then they're judged because their mood swings or whatever they're dealing with. But it has to be hard, and don't have a high level position
Yeah.
that you have to, be seen a certain way, and you can't be seen like, I don't know. Do people even look at it because you're going through this? You're a weaker vessel.
Yeah.
You never know what people think.
But that's okay. So 100% yes, on point. Everything that you just discussed, and that is happening to women in the workplace. So listen to this. So
Okay.
over, let me see. Where's my statistics? The National Institute on Aging says that more than a million, and I know this number is low, More than 1 million women in the United States experience menopause every year, right?
Wow.
More than
Okay.
1 million. I know that number is low
Because
because
it's a lot more that's experiencing it now.
absolutely.
It's too
Maybe,
many of us in this world.
yes. So maybe they're saying that more than 1 million women enter menopause. And so I'll have to check on the National Institute on Aging and say, well, what do you mean exactly
Okay.
by that? Because there's way more than 1 million of us in menopause, in post-menopause or
Exactly.
perimenopause. If we add all that up together, because they say in experience menopause.
So did
So
they say entering? Read
they
the
say
statistics.
experience.
Ah,
Experience menopause.
okay. Experiencing. Yeah.
Institute of Aging. And then the Mayo Clinic put numbers on it, dollars. An estimated $1.8 billion in lost work time per year in the United States alone related to menopause.
1 billion?
1.8,
Oh my
almost $2
God.
billion in lost work time per year in the United States alone as a result of menopause, right?
That's, I mean, just those statistics, that number, that's a real issue.
That's a real issue.
That there is a problem.
Yes, it's a problem. And it's a leadership problem, it's a retention problem, it's a women's health issue, it's all of that. So
Absolutely.
it behooves us in the workplace to have this conversation about menopause, because if we can address the issues that women are going through, that within the workplace, then we can not only cut down those numbers, but we can have a more palatable experience
Yes.
for women in the workplace. And we also won't see women leaving the workplace. It's a retention issue, leaving the workplace as a result of whether they're embarrassed about the symptoms
Absolutely.
that they're dealing with, whether they feel like there's no choice for them. There's no option to handle what they're experiencing with regards to menopause. If I feel like I can't run a meeting and, and not have some brain fog issues pop up, or I can't run a meeting without like breaking out into a hot sweat, at 3 or 4 times during the meeting, and then have people looking at me funny or laughing or,
Exactly.
all of that. That's really right now, it's not protected, right? We protect in the workplace, we protect every other diagnosis, if you will, or I don't want to consider menopause a disability, but we protect everything else in the
Wow.
workplace. We protect people with disabilities.
Yeah.
We protect sexual identity. We protect pregnancy. We make, and when I say protected, we make amends for it, make accommodations for it, but we
Yes.
also culturally protect it by doing workplace trainings that are mandated to make sure that people understand how important it is not to ridicule, insult, make fun of, or make politically incorrect remarks about certain things, right?
You're right.
We do that.
But it doesn't apply
No,
to this space because they don't know enough about it. And it's more money that you would have to allocate to it. So a company's bottom line.
yes.
Or they just don't see the importance in it.
But if $1.8 billion lost wages, right? So
Exactly.
it's being paid for anyway. You pay now or you
Exactly.
pay later,
Exactly.
right?
Very valid point.
Pay now or you pay later. And the companies are supplementing medical care anyway. So if you're supplementing my medical care, and I am going from doctor to doctor to doctor to get help for a symptom that is never properly addressed, and I'm having emergency room visits, and I'm having all this, cardiac workup and this workup, and when I had first when I had frozen shoulder, and
Yeah.
this is not to ridicule the physician at all.
Okay.
100% I'm with him. Um, I'm glad I didn't go with his last diagnosis though, which was surgery,
Oh
right?
my goodness.
So but frozen shoulder shows up as frozen shoulder, right? So there's treatments for frozen shoulder that he's familiar with. And one of them is go inside and look and see, whatever he diagnosed, they did diagnose calcification, blah, 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 blah. So they absolutely can go in there, clean it up, blah, blah, blah. But did we explore the possibility that we could treat this differently if we thought there might be a relationship to menopause? Right? So I can't say that definitively because I did not have the surgery, right?
Wow.
I did something different, but had I had it, was there a different option? And that's all I'm suggesting is that we have to, if we have the information, we can look at the options and possibly save a lot of money.
Yeah, sometimes it's just knowing. And you know what? The internet is at our fingertips. And you got to be careful with a lot of the information out there too. So you got to kind of weed through stuff.
Yes.
But it sounds to me that we can't wait for someone to give us the information. We have to make it part of our responsibility. What do I need? Yes. I can't rely on another woman because our bodies may be structured differently. And when I say structured, just what we deal with day to day in our own personal bodies. But it's about standing up right now. Yeah. Taking ownership over your own personal health as your body is going through transformation.
That's right. And that is with anything. And I can't stress that enough. That's with every single aspect of your health. It's going to be individualized, and we have to do our own research. We have to make decisions for ourselves based on what's best for us and what's best for us and our families, and making sure that we are doing the research, that we don't just rely on someone else outside of your physical body to make decisions for you without your guided, prayerful, and educated insight and input.
Yes. Did y'all get that? Or does she need to say it again?
Cannot rely on anyone outside of this temple to decide for you what's best for you without your guided, prayerful, educated, insightful, and I'll add intuitive input.
That's good. Which means you have to get involved with oneself. You have to be connected with oneself. It is so important to make sure you're paying attention to what is happening with your body. Our body is always evolving. Things are changing. As we get older, things are breaking down.
Every day. Every day. And so, and it's not just about, menopause. This advice right here, this little segment right here, this applies to men, women, children, boys, girls, everything.
That's a really good point. Yes.
We have to do that. So, so again, back to the workplace, right? So workplace, saving dollars, if that's their bottom line, they want to make sure they're saving dollars. So they're saving dollars on money spent on healthcare, saving dollars on retention, because it costs a lot of money to find new employees and train them, especially if you have someone who has been in the position, is doing well, knows the job, and all of a sudden they're having some brain fog issues, or can't remember some words right now, or can't call a name real quick, or needs to refer to her notes when she didn't have to do that necessarily before. She's breaking out in hot sweats, maybe a little moody. How can we deal with that? What can we do in the workplace to make her feel more comfortable, so she doesn't feel like her only option is to leave? And what can we do to make us feel more comfortable as employers so we don't push her out?
That's good. That's real good. Whew.
It's both sides.
It is. It is. My mind is going to, we give so much when we're working on somebody's job site, building someone else's vision, helping build their legacy, overly committed, making sure we're always showing up. We do all that for someone. And now that you're in a place of needing them to understand, they don't. A lot of times they don't. It's easy. You know what? We'll go and train somebody else. We'll get someone else. And the thing is, I wonder if whoever's on their job site in the workplace, are you being vocal? Are you really expressing? This is something that's totally out of my control, pretty much. And my job is not to let it affect my work, but I may experience some things.
Yeah.
Do they take it to HR?
Yeah.
Who do they let know? Because you're right. How many people have lost their job behind not speaking up, knowing you're going through a life cycle change?
No, it's very true. And again, this is another example of women suffering in silence.
Yes.
So, and there's so many different aspects of life, and I'm not excluding any other gender and at all. I'm talking about women who go through menopause. So not to exclude anybody else from anything else, but as with regards to suffering in silence, right? That can happen to anybody, but there are a number of things that we go through as women biologically and also culturally that we feel as though we have to suffer in silence. And this is one of them, because menopause is not, well, it's more so now, but really not widely talked about enough, so that it is considered normal, and the symptoms and so forth that we deal with are also considered normal. Because like we've been talking about for a few weeks now, a lot of us don't even know all of the various symptoms that we could be dealing with.
That was mind blowing. I'm guilty. I was guilty when you started mentioning it was over 60 plus.
Yeah.
I'm saying what? Because all I'm thinking about is hot flashes.
And
now I'm starting to experience this. What is this brain fog thing?
Yes.
I mean, what's happening here? Right?
Exactly. The brain fog, the mood swings, insomnia, the sweating, the night sweats, and all of that. So that is something that's real. And we feel like, okay, it's nothing that I can control necessarily. Like if I'm going through a hot flash right now, I can drink some cold water. I can pause a little bit. I can take some sips. I can pull out my fan. But once I pull out the fan, pretty much everybody knows what's going on, especially if it's 29 degrees outside.
Exactly.
And everybody else is freezing and putting on blankets and, let me go get my wrap. And you sitting in there
like,
with a camisole. With a camisole and the sweat pouring off of you, right? And you're like, oh my God. Right. And then 10 seconds later, you're freezing and trying to find a coat.
Exactly.
So all those things, like it can be embarrassing. It was embarrassing to me. I don't know about everybody.
That's so funny. It's funny. I'm laughing because I'm just really envisioning. And I think when I pull out my electric little hand fan, I find myself, if I'm in a crowd, saying, excuse me, I'm just having a moment and I need to just, whew.
Yeah.
So I find that a lot of times people are more familiar now when they see those neck fans, they see those fans, that, okay, this is definitely something that women are dealing with.
Yeah.
So it's exciting to know that the conversation is starting to enlarge. People are talking about it.
Yeah.
People are talking about it. What's so interesting? I know in one of our episodes, we talked about the bridging of families, right? And and this still ties into the workplace, but the different generations of watching our mothers, grandparents go through menopause and not really expressing. But when you think back on it, you think about the little things that you saw that said, that's what was happening now that we come into the knowledge of it. So I wonder, being in a workplace, people may not even you may not even feel like it's a safe space to even be able to talk about it, depending on who's running the space, the companies that you may be working for, that we don't talk about stuff like that. It's once again, quiet, go through it and just deal with it. But it'd be interesting to see how those that are older that have come through that wasn't able to talk about it, how they feel about it starting to be outspoken now.
Yeah, I've heard quite a few women say, you know, because younger women asking their moms, or
Yes.
and younger is relative, right? But just like
Mhm.
their mothers
Yeah.
and asking their moms, hey, we never really talked about menopause. What was it like for you, and what did you go through, and so forth? And one woman was telling me that her mom said, well, we never talked about it because nobody ever talked about it to me, so I didn't really know what I was dealing with
That's real.
necessarily. I just knew that I was changing, but didn't necessarily know that the changes that were happening in me were as a result of a
Yeah.
particular thing that all women go through. I'm feeling like, is it just me? Is it just, is this hot
Wow.
thing just happening to me necessarily? Because even hot flashes were not widely discussed. It's just like every once in a while, people say, oh, now you hear people say, oh, I'm having a personal summer, or I'm having a moment,
Yes.
having a something like this, and women walking around with fans and stuff. But this was not the thing when, I told you my mom could make a fan out of anything. She was just
Exactly.
always fanning, but she never said words.
Why?
I recall,
Yeah.
I never heard her say menopause, but I never even heard her say hot flash.
Wow.
I never really heard her say hot flash. Just like, I don't even know that she said I'm hot. She'd just be fanning. And I wondered about that. And how much did she know? And my mom was, she worked at Bellevue Hospital for, I don't know, over 30 years. So and I say that because we can be in healthcare environments. I'm a nurse.
Exactly.
Be in healthcare environments, and still the
Yeah.
conversation is not widely addressed. So it's not just one place or another. It's not just doctors
Exactly.
versus lawyers versus nurses versus, okay, well, I'm in IT, so people don't discuss it. No,
Exactly.
it's anywhere.
It is. And it's global. Think about it. Women across the world
Go through this.
go through this.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a pandemic or an epidemic, right?
Yeah. And interestingly enough, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I think I told you I went to Ireland this year.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Ireland this year, and while I was there, I had so much fun. Ireland
Oh
was
my
amazing.
gosh.
Ireland was amazing.
Wasn't it beautiful? I mean,
Oh
like
my
the
gosh.
greenery and oh my goodness.
Absolutely. You've been.
No, I'm
Oh,
just talking about from pictures that I've
yes.
seen.
And the pictures are not doctored. They
Oh
are
my
real.
gosh.
That it's green as
Wow.
green could be. The food is as fresh could be. It was just amazing.
Oh wow.
But I wanted to bring up Ireland. So interestingly enough, so what does Ireland have to do with menopause? So one day while we were on, and we traveled all throughout Ireland, right? So
Okay.
we went to three of the places. We went to several, but three of the places we went to were Dublin, of course,
Dublin.
Dublin
Mm-hmm.
that everybody's heard about, Galway, and another city called Cork. And
Okay.
so one day we were out doing our sightseeing, and we went to a petting farm. And I went to everything though, but this
Good for
particular
you.
day, I was inspired. I really feel like it was Holy Spirit inspired to not go into the farm. I stayed in the car and decided that I was going to research menopause in Ireland. That's what I did.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love it.
So
Okay.
yeah.
What'd you find?
I listen, you listen, are you ready?
I'm
So
ready.
Ireland's Department of Health launched a national arrangement where women receive HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy, medicines and products free of charge at the point of dispensing. It's not a mandate, but it's an option. And so any woman who wants hormone therapy for menopause in Ireland receives it for free.
Oh wow.
Ireland trains its clinicians. So every general practitioner is trained in the treatment of menopause. Over 90% of the management of menopause is delivered in general practice.
What?
Not only that,
What?
Ireland has specific menopause clinics. Clinics.
So, in other words, they're so far ahead of us here in the United States. Yeah, we better we better broaden our territories. We're missing out on a whole lot of stuff.
Listen.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so I'm looking into other parts of Europe as well to see what's happening. But from what I understand, from the little bit of, I don't want to go into it because I didn't do all the research yet.
No,
So
I
I
get
be
it.
wrong.
That's another episode.
It's another episode. But yeah, so, and I'm not trying to say that we need to leave the United States. I'm not saying that we all need to pack up and move to, that all the women need to pack up and move to Ireland, right?
Well, speak for yourself. It depends on how bad somebody's dealing with menopause. There is a place that you can go to and be catered to if menopause is a real problem for you.
Oh my gosh. But what I'm saying is there's hope, because we
hope.
are not, the world is not in the dark ages about menopause. The world is not. There are places that are really dealing with this, because if you think about it, like we already said, if the general practitioners are trained, if there are clinics dealing with this, if there is the ability to get treatment for it for free, if all of this exists, then that means that however you show up at work, you are supported, so your health is already addressed, so that you will be able to function a lot more successfully in the workplace if you have all of this available to you. And not to mention that you don't have to keep it secret. That it's open. I just took my phone and did some research and found menopause clinics. But it wasn't just in one place. It wasn't just in Dublin that everybody knows about, you know.
Oh no, it's a thing. It sounds like they invest in this.
It's a thing.
They cater to this.
Yes.
So yes, America, we're living in the dark ages when it comes to menopause. We still want to keep it one of the best kept secrets, but it doesn't need to be a secret.
No.
Women are really going through.
No.
And I say I'm thankful because I experienced some things, but I know some women that really experience some things. Their hormones are just completely out of whack.
Raging.
Wearing estrogen, patches and stuff. I mean,
and they're helping a lot.
They are helping.
Estrogen patches are helping. Hormone therapy is helping. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to mention, in addition to the, conversations about treatment, it's not just hormone replacement therapy. That's not our only option. But in addition to all of the training and all of the treatment and so forth that is received, they also offer cognitive and behavioral health therapy for women in menopause.
Oh my goodness.
Cognitive therapy and behavioral health therapy, because as your body's going through all these different changes, as you are changing, as the brain is changing, all of the emotions around this are real. They're real. You need to talk to somebody about this.
Exactly. I mean, I was watching something because, like I said, more of the message is getting out there, and more people are really talking about it and bringing it to the forefront. And I was watching, I think when Oprah did this whole thing with Halle Berry on menopause and some doctors, and one woman was just sharing her story about, because of her emotional highs and lows and everything. I mean, she pretty much lost her family, her husband, and just you can hear the pain in her, like, help me type of thing. Help me.
Please.
Man, somebody should tell her she might want to check out visiting Ireland. I'm telling you. I am so glad that you even took it upon yourself. Well, this is your thing, This is your thing. Really educating the masses on menopause.
Yeah.
But while I'm there, let me look into their systems.
Yeah. To see what's available, to see how they look at it, and to see because not only that, but people were so happy in like
Ah,
what I experienced. This is what I experienced. I don't know what anybody else is going to experience when they go to Ireland, but people were very happy. They were very kind. It was a lovely trip. I had a ball. It was a great time.
how
And
many days did you stay?
we were there a little over 2 weeks.
I can see you have to be because you said you guys really toured and
Yeah,
experienced
we did.
the
We
whole.
went
Wow.
all the way around the island,
Yeah.
so it was great. We went to a lot of different places,
Mhm.
but we got to see. We even stayed on a farm one night. So
Really?
farmhouse, and the cows were
Yeah.
like outside the kitchen window. It was just awesome.
That whole farm to table preparation.
Yeah, it was awesome, and we stayed in Airbnbs every place
Yes.
that we went, and it was really
Okay.
great. It was really great. It
Wow,
was
that's amazing. But that's important. People were happy, genuine. And you know what? It's not just that you experienced that. That's probably just the atmosphere, the
yeah,
energy that was in the atmosphere.
yeah.
And when people are getting needs met, they tend to be a little more happier
Happier. Yeah. And happy, and it rains all the time.
all the
Like it
time.
rains all the time.
That's why it's so green there.
I guess because I mean, there wasn't was there a day? I don't know. There might have been a day or two where it didn't rain, but I felt like it rained every day. And despite that, because when we rains here, we were like, oh,
Yeah.
raining.
Again.
When I lived in California, like, oh, do we have to go to work? It's raining. Isn't it a holiday? But you're not quite as happy in the rain. But there,
Exactly.
it didn't stop anything, and it didn't stop us
Oh,
either. We were like out in the rain. It was just like a ball.
I don't blame you. Listen, a little rain won't hurt us. We spent our money to come visit
Yes,
and
yeah,
not to be stuck in an Airbnb, right?
yeah, yeah,
But that is really encouraging.
yeah,
That is really encouraging to know that, sometimes we just got to look outside of our own doors onto the other side because it is a lot more happening in this world than we think.
yeah,
So
yeah.
don't get stuck. Do not get stuck. Go venture out and see what you're missing, right?
Yeah. And when we see what's possible, we can,
Yes,
it's easier to say, okay, well, if it can work there, it can work here. And
absolutely.
then we as women, we have to put in the work and say, okay, this is what we need. This is what we're going to advocate for. Halle Berry is not the only advocate
No,
for
not
menopause,
at all.
the only
Exactly.
woman going through menopause. So while I am extraordinarily happy and grateful to the work that she's doing,
Yes.
there's room for all of us to do this work. And so that's why I'm committing to it as well. So my hope is to meet Hallie one day.
Absolutely.
Be supportive
Listen,
of her.
we might need to invite her on the show for a discussion panel for menopause.
Yeah.
Listen, are you a firm believer? Because what they say that we're about 6 degrees of separation from
Absolutely.
the next person.
That's right.
Yeah,
I believe it. And I've seen it too many times.
exactly.
Too many times. I'll tell you a quick story. Not
Go
menopause
ahead.
related,
Go
not
ahead.
menopause related. But I was watching a friend of mine has a jewelry business, a phenomenal jewelry business. I'll wear some of her stuff next time.
Okay.
And she, however, is an expat and lives in Mexico.
Okay.
So I have another girlfriend, he also is an expat who lives in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. But to my one friend,
Mhm.
not the jewelry designer, the other one. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I'm on this call because she was doing an online show for her new products, for her new line. So
Yes.
my friend, she's in Mexico and she's got a jewelry line and you got to meet her and we're online now. Can you join? Blah, 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 blah. So my other friend who I was telling her, gee, can you join? She couldn't join that day, but she sends me back a picture with my other friend, the jewelry designer. She's
What?
like, oh, we've been friends for years.
Oh my goodness. Small world, right?
Make this
You
stuff
never know who's connected to who.
You cannot make, and they did not go to Mexico together. It
Oh
wasn't
my
that.
goodness.
They weren't living, same places or anything, but they've known each other for years,
Oh my goodness. You never know.
You never know.
But I'm a firm believer, speaking into existence. So
Yeah.
we're speaking it into existence that we will invite Halle Berry to be a part of Morning Brew with Coach Kathleen talking about menopause unmasked. Listen,
Yep. And I'm
you
going to do some
never
work with
know.
her about
That's
some
it.
policy changes and so forth to make sure that we get
Yes,
what we need in the
absolutely.
workplace and beyond.
Absolutely. How are you feeling? Have you looked? Have you cooled? Has the body cooled down some?
Yes, I did cool down. I still got a little, I could use some menopause sleeves. I'm going to try and put some,
Wait,
make some
what?
shirts with some holes under there so you can get some direct air. Woo!
I'm like, what is menopause? Listen, there's a lot of opportunity to really be able to get things to everyday people, So if you were somebody and you're trying to figure out your next big thing, what am I going to create? This is a whole space that education is so needed. So being able to team up and partner up with those that are passionate, that are knowledgeable, that is the key.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
share our stories and experiences all day, but it's good to have a professional like Coach Kathleen, who's also a nurse, who deals with the human body, who has seen a lot, who has
Yeah.
taken a liking even to this area, and know that there's so much opportunity to be able to spread the message and the word and really educating people in this space of what is happening to me right now, what is going on with my body. It is all out of whack. Always consider, if you are at that age and you are going through menopause, perimenopause, always consider to start there and ask the questions. Because remember, you did tell us, ask questions.
Yes.
Ask your
Yes.
physician if they don't know, and you definitely may not know. Did
Yeah.
you consider? I do remember that in one of
Yes.
our previous
Yes.
episodes.
Yeah. Did you consider? And so if you have questions, Germaine, it'd be great if your guests, your viewers have any questions that they'd like for me to answer. I would love to receive them. So send
Yeah,
them to you, to Morning Brew. Uh,
absolutely. So we
that'd be awesome.
definitely, let me put that up because that's important. That sometimes I always say, there's people that watch from afar, and this subject is really all in your business right now.
Mhm.
And the thing is, you do have questions and you're not sure how to ask them. I don't want to come. I don't want to be in a live chat. I don't want to feel. Listen, you can still do it and nobody knows it's coming from you if that's
Yeah.
how you prefer to have it, or if you just want to make your questions known and available. But I do want to put this out there because you can always send your questions over to morningbrewwithgermaine.com. Go to our website. Let me just pull that up real quick. Yeah, stop by the website. There's a lot of things happening over there, right? Morningbrewwithgermaine.com, and list your questions. You'll see Coach Kathleen on the website in her segment, but definitely leave us questions, some things that you may be going through that may be personal and you only want to get to her. Let me pull up your information. Hold on. I want to make sure that we give them your website also.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, absolutely.
They can send questions to me through the website as well.
Absolutely. And
And
let
I
me.
have a couple of questions for the audience. If they don't have questions for us, I have some.
Oh, I love that.
So you can send those in. So what was your first, this is affecting my work moment? What was your first, this is
Mm,
affecting my work moment as it relates to menopause? Was it hot flashes? Was it brain fog? What was it? And did menopause influence a career decision for you? Did it influence whether
mm,
or not you accepted a promotion or visibility or travel or leadership? Did it influence early retirement? What did menopause influence your career decisions at all? And the last thing, what support would help you in the workplace?
wow. Really, really good question. So, did y'all get that where you can send your answers, response, or leave it in the chats? Where if you're watching on YouTube, if you are YouTube is morningbrewwithgermaine.com. If you're over on our Instagram live, or that's HOV Publishing, I'm getting it together. It's going to all be Morning Brew one day. Or even if you're on our Facebook or LinkedIn, it's under Germaine Miller Summers. Um, but I want to right now, I'm going to put up Coach Kathleen's information. Visit Coach Kathleen at www or wellnesscoachforwomen.com. Wellnesscoachforwomen.com. Make sure you stop by, check out her website, get the information that you need. Drop her a message. You know, you can interact personally with her on her website, through her website, and answer the questions, because you know what? You may have the answers that some women are looking for. So definitely make sure you stop by wellnesscoachforwomen.com. All right. Listen, Coach Kathleen, like I said, I look forward to our time together. I do. I get so excited. So now this is a thing that the audience don't know that we've been talking about. We've been talking about in the new year, just some new ventures, bringing some new people in. And men, we didn't forget about you. The men that stopped by for coffee and conversation, we didn't forget about you.
Nope.
Because we always have you in mind. You have to deal with these women, whether it's your mother, your wife, your children, whatever it may be, you have to deal with women. And so Coach Kathleen has some information for you too. So I don't want you to feel left out. We will be having some group discussions. Yes. If you're somebody and you want to be a part of the group discussion, you want to be on the live, actually in the chat, listen, just go to morningbrew.com or morningbrew@gmail.com and let me know that, hey, I'm curious. I want to be on a panel with Coach Kathleen. All right. Now, anybody out there that want to get this message to Halle Berry, I have some people I know I'm going to definitely check in with. But hey, let her know. We are calling for her to be a guest also on Morning Brew with Coach Kathleen, because we got some things to talk about.
Yes.
Anything that you want to leave with the audience? Anything?
Yes, I want to leave. Absolutely. This is a wonderful time of year. As you can see, this is a wonderful time of year. It's also a time where, if you're having some sadness or whatever, it can be personified in this time of year also. So I just want to, of course, wish everybody a happy holiday. But if you're struggling a little bit, and you're having a little, having some moments and wondering, well, where's life turning? Whether you might be alone over the holidays and so forth, just make sure that you're good to yourself. Just really take good care of yourself. Make sure that you are listening to some encouraging music. There's loads of really fun movies on that you could check out.
Yes.
Pick up a book, an encouraging book, something inspiring, something uplifting. Pray, call a friend. Don't leave yourself alone to suffer. You are not alone. This is this can be a really beautiful time. And let people know where you are. Let people know where you really are. Not the, oh, I'm fine. Let people know where you really are during this season. And if things are wonderful for you, God bless you. Reach out and touch somebody and, let everybody know that you're thinking of them, because this is a time where people really need to get together, inspire, encourage, send some love, make a phone call. That's what I want to send to everybody this time of year, especially your older neighbors and friends, just let them know you're thinking about them.
I absolutely love that. That's right in the vein with, in this season, I think the past 2 weeks, we've really been talking about a season of thankfulness and Thanksgiving and, just really letting people know you appreciate them. So that is, what a way to wrap up Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Just, what? Pick up the phone and let somebody know I'm thinking about you. And I just wanted to send you some love today.
Absolutely.
That's it. I love it.
That is so sweet, isn't it?
It feels like a warm hug.
It does. It does. It feels like a warm hug.
Yes. So to you and your family, Happy holidays. Yes, all the love. Thank you for always making yourself available to share with the community, with those that are out there. So thank
Oh my
you.
gosh, I forgot to buy you a cup of coffee.
Oh my
Buy you a cup
gosh.
of
No.
coffee. I'll buy you a cup of coffee, Germaine. Enjoy it.
Oh my God. So, okay. She said it, and I'm just going to share it then. So, remember on Buy Me a Coffee, right now there's so much going on in this world, and this is the time of year. Just by buying a cup of coffee, let me put it up on the screen. That was so thoughtful of you. Oh my goodness. But let me put it up because I do want to share. This is the time, gift giving, and just really thinking about those that may have less than we have.
Mm-hmm.
This is a way that in a community effort, Buy Me a Coffee really allows us collectively to share with those that may be in need. So hold on, let me pull it up real quick. Here it is. So this is just our platform, buymeacoffee.com/morning brew with Germaine, that gives you an opportunity to say, you know what, I love what you're doing on Morning Brew, and I want to sow into Morning Brew so you can help spread the love to those out there that may be in need of some things, and buy me a coffee for at least $1. But guys, there's so much going on. So when you go to that site, right? We are launching, Coach Cathleen, we are launching our official Morning Brew book club. And you have a book coming out.
I do.
Soon. Yes, I cannot wait.
Me either.
So, Morning Brew, when you go over to buymeacoffee.com, you can also join the Morning Brew book club. It's $1 a month to be a part, have access to all these authors that we're bringing in to read their stories, share their stories, and then engage with the author themselves.
That's
now,
awesome.
We're only giving tips. Listen, we're only giving some information on Morning Brew on our live, but you have to be a member. You have to be a part of it to really engage what's going to take place for members only behind the scenes. Okay? But thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. This was great. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. I can't wait for January. Remember, she is the fourth Wednesday, mixed blend, fourth Wednesday of every month. And January is right around the corner. Yes, it is.
Yeah. I've got some stuff for everybody that listened today. I'm going to have a Menopause at Work script packed for you.
Ooh.
And some other neat things that you can talk about with HR or so forth at work. So,
wow. I love it.
Yeah.
And we will listen, she's in the gift giving season right now. So she is already. So we'll make some things available on our site that will give you more information. And then you can go, if you're in our site and you want to get to her site, you just click on a link. It'll take you right to her site as well. So, thank you. All right, guys.
Happy holidays, Germaine.
Happy holidays. And to all of you out there watching, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all the other things that go with it, whatever holiday you serve, but it's all in the spirit of love. Be kind to someone. Let someone know that you really appreciate them and just give them some love today. Okay. So be safe, whatever you do. And guess what? We'll be back with a special message on Christmas Day as well. So I'll see you guys then. Have a great one.